Hey guys, see Metal Cop here. Another one of my guitars. Just a little brief overview of it. This is a 1981 Les Paul Goldtop. I recently picked up off of eBay. And just a quick word about the Norlin era Les Pauls, made from 1968 through 1983, 84. I'm not sure the exact era. Those Gibson Les Paul Gibson files could probably enlighten you on the Norlin era, but they get a bad rap. The guitars are substandard quality. They're not as good as the one from the 50s. They're not as good as the ones manufactured today. All those reissues, blah, blah, blah. Great guitars from this era as well. Randy Rhoads didn't have any problem with his 1974 Norlin era Les Paul. Arguably one of the best guitar players of all time. His main #1 guitar, Norlin era Les Paul. John Sykes, Whitesnake fame, no problem with his 1978 Norlin era Les Paul. Neil Schon used tons of these. Pete Townsend from the Who. The list goes on and on and on. Anyway, this is a 1981, and this thing is got some serious players wear to it. This is a player's grade guitar. The finish is full of, come on, focus here, full of those cracks, the crazing that you're gonna pay a lot of money for, to have Tom Murphy cut them into your brand new guitar with a razor blade. Well, this one came by him the old-fashioned way, just over age and lots of playing. So this one didn't come with the Bigsby. I put the Bigsby on it, and I aged this one. This was a brand new piece. It didn't fit this guitar, this 30-something-year-old guitar with all this natural player wear. So I bought a brand new one and just used some acid, some etching compound. Not a compound, it's a etching, it's a liquid. You pick it up at Radio Shack. It's just an acid. And this is, a Bigsby is polished aluminum, so it etches, pretty easily. It look, you can make it look old. It's not much of a trick to it there. This one has the Vibramate on it, which is kind of a cool little piece. You guys, players know the Vibramate. It bolts to the two pneumatic posts right there, and it bolts to the strap pin, kind of holds it on here at the butt of the guitar, and you don't have to drill any holes in your guitar. Not that it would have mattered on this one, look at that. But if you have a nice guitar, this is a nice kind of solution. Maybe you try the Vibramate on your guitar, and if you love the Bigsby, and then you can drill holes in your guitar, because the Bigsby would take two rather sizable holes right in the face of your guitar there, and also 4 rather sizable holes here at the butt of the guitar. So this one has the little mini humbuckers. For now, I don't foresee myself keeping them. I bought this guitar with a project in mind, routing this for full-size humbuckers like so many of them had done. And I'm probably still going to do that. This one came, luckily I had some nice old parts from an old Les Paul. I'll get to that one. A nice 1970 Les Paul that the guy had done the Jeff Beck thing to it. It's a black custom, and he'd put some cream, the cream switch on it, and the cream pickup rings, trying to look like the Jeff Beck, the Les Paul that he used there on the cover. What the heck's the name of that album? I can't remember. Truth, maybe? I don't know. This one has, it's a fretless wonder. I don't care for that. The frets are okay. This thing plays good. It sounds good. Not great, but it's okay. The mini humbuckers are weak. Pete Townsend, the Who, not that the Who's, weak by any stretch, but if, that's the type of sound you're into, it's great, but I'm not. I play a lot of metal and some really hard rock, so I think full-size humbuckers are the way to go. These things just don't you know, their physical size, even if you, you know, put in a replacement pickup, the physical size of the, you know, the soap bar, because that's just a P90 soap bar pickup, you know, the Gibson cut a hole into and put these mini New York humbuckers in. The physical size doesn't allow for a, you know, a powerful pickup. So this one has, I've got shallow strap locks on it, which I aged to. Was kind of cool. I just put the acid to those two to make them look nice and old, and those are nickel as well. I had a nice old set of the pointers, the knob pointers. You can just see them there. Oh, those were all rusted and gacked up. I just had those on hand. It just worked out good. One replacement knob. You know, this one here is the replacement, probably cracked or whatever, so it doesn't quite match. But I had an old one. Hang on to all your old junk. You know, don't throw that stuff away. People get on your case. Oh, you're a hoarder. You're hanging on to all this stuff. You're never going to need it again. Well, here's a situation where, you know, I needed it again. So one thing, so let's see here, all the strings up at the top there. Now, I'm not that guy. You know, I'm not one of those guys that leaves the strings like that. I just restrung this. Forgive me, I haven't cut the strings yet, but I'm not that guy. I am very neat and orderly. I leave my strings, I clip them off. No eyeball poking here, but you can see the nice, those are shallers, you know, top of the line tuners, and look at the neck on this thing. Now it still feels nice, and you know, it's not down to the bare wood, but it's pretty worn. I don't know, could you see the repair? It looks worse than it is. You know, you can't feel it. You know, a lot of wear on this one. And again, now this one I did buy, you know, sight unseen off of eBay. But I figured, again, the amount of player wear on this thing came out of Canada. Somebody loved this guitar and played the crap out of it. Now here is the dirty little secret. Look at that. Now that is the Vibramate. And you see that big chunk of aluminum there? That is a 1/4 inch spacer. The Norlin era Les Pauls. Now I'm not sure which years. Somebody else that knows more than me could probably tell you which specific ones. The body is smaller, ever so slightly smaller on these guitars. You know, necessitating this spacer here. So when I went to put the Vibramate on and you fold the little hinge part of the Bigsby over, it didn't fit. It just didn't line up. You can see the Bigsby is this top portion here, a little bit shinier there. There's the top portion. That's where the Bigsby would have been, and I'm like, you know, what the heck? What's going on here? Did a little bit of research, dirty little secret. Hey, the Norlin era Les Pauls are a little smaller, so this thing folds over. Your nice reissue, your 50s Les Paul, whatever, it's going to fit right on there. Your modern Les Paul, it's going to fit right on there. But the Norlin era Les Pauls, some of them, maybe not all, about a 1/4 inch smaller here in the, you know, the butt of the guitar. So I was going to make a spacer myself. I did a little more research, and I find out, hey, guess what? Vibramate makes one. Of course they do. And let me tell you though, it's irritating. They don't give that thing away, the spacer. So I punch it up, you know, on the internet, $29.95, which I'm like, that's a little steep. But do, you know, a little more digging, and I'm like, oh no, $29.95 is the base price. Then you can add, you know, $10 for the smaller spacer, $15 for another one, and you know, $15 for the 1/4 inch spacer. So this thing cost me, you know, $47 plus shipping for that little spacer there. Nice. Oh well, you needed it. You know, it's machined for the little machine screws. You know, you make it yourself, and it's just not going to be as nice. Like many Les Pauls from this era, we see, you know, that's a metal plate retrofitted on there. They came with plastic. Seriously, you know, you're jamming a input jack in and out of a plastic plate. It's just not gonna last. So I just really wanted to show you that, stress that. I left the strap on this one. I don't always do that, but it comes on and off hard because of the because of that whole apparatus through there. These are new shallers, new shaller strap locks. Thankfully the new ones come with, I know you guys are familiar with that, they have their regular size screws, you know, which are about, you know, say they're about an inch long, and they also come with these mega screws that are, you know, they're about an inch and a half, inch and 3/4 long for, you know, just situation just like this. You know, that's for when you put it in an older guitar and the hole's all bored out. I mean, I glued the matchsticks and wood glue, you know, jam matchsticks and wood glue in the hole, you know, and then drive those giant shallower screws in there. But oh, this is a maple neck. You can see the 3-piece maple neck. Another reason I picked this one, I chose it on purpose. I wanted, you know, mahogany body, and I wanted the maple neck. These Norlin era Les Pauls, you could get a maple neck. You can't get them anymore. They're mahogany, all of them. So you want the maple neck? You like metal? Maple necks sound great. Dig the strap. Look at that thing. That's just a great bull leather strap, thick leather strap. Goes great with this guitar. So, oh, down here, I just threw these on. There are the pickups. A couple of nice aged DiMarzios. These things are beat. These are from the early 80s. They're going to go great in this guitar. And there's the pickup rings. You know, the curved pickup rings for the archtop guitar for Les Paul. It came off that old 70 I bought off the internet, off of eBay several years ago. But that's a super distortion and a PAF, and they are going to go great in that guitar, and they just match perfectly the age of these things. So nice. So, I mean, if you guys want to comment, don't do it. Leave the mini humbuckers. You know, I'll entertain your thoughts, but my mind is pretty much made up. I bought this guitar with the intent of refretting it with, you know, some giant Dunlop frets, the giant 6100 frets that I like. You know, lose the little fret nibs, but oh well. Putting a couple of humbuckers on there. The Bigsby, it's cool. I mean, honestly, I like the look of it. Seriously, I mean, it's a great, that's a true vibrato. And I mean, it whacks you out of tune pretty severely. There's probably some stuff that you can do. Apply the nut sauce, the nut lube up there. You know, but I mean, I played like, you know, Tears Are Falling, where you're using the vibrato to you know, to shake the entire chord, and when you're, you know, you're fretting, you know, the bar chord over the entire neck almost, this thing stays in tune. It stays in tune because you're clamping the strings down, you know, using your fingers like a capo. You know, it's a neat vibrato. It's fun, but you know, you're not gonna stay in tune with it. It stayed in tune a lot better than I thought it would, but you know, it's not like a Floyd. That's for darn sure. And I may, you know, I'm not so sure about the pick guard, whether that'll stay on there or not. Obviously that's going to have to be routed and filed away to fit over, you know, with the pickups if I choose to go that route. So 1981 Norlin era Les Paul Goldtop. And it's a heavy guitar. The Norlin eras, they are heavy. I mean, 11 pounds, that's a lightweight Norlin era Les Paul. This thing weighs every bit of 11 pounds, probably closer to 13. You know, so, but I wish you could see that finish. You know, not a fan of paying for the relicking, but if a guitar comes by it naturally, I'm all over it. Love it. Hey, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video.